All right, guys, welcome. We're going to be working within Dehancer a little bit. Dehancer is a software that I'm still pretty new to. I've owned it for about a year and wanted to leave my review on it. I use Dehancer most of the time for kind of more fun little videos that I shoot on the side of my paid work, whether I'm traveling or just feeling some sort of way where I want to shoot a cool, fun little video. That's mostly when I'll use this software. I'm still learning the software as well as learning film stocks and what they look like and how they used to work and all that stuff. There's a lot to it. With that being said, I'm not an expert colorist. This is coming from someone who has kind of a basic level knowledge of color grading, and I really just aim to create a clean image, something that I really like, and I just kind of leave it at that. And I'm constantly learning how to use this stuff and improve the look of these videos using Dehancer. So I wanted to throw that out there. This was all shot in northern Minnesota in the fall, I believe. So very beautiful day. The sun is out, as you can tell. But it's still pretty chilly. Like here, we're plunging right here in the lake. It was freezing. I don't know. It was probably 40 degrees outside, 40 to 50. Just overall great footage. And I thought this footage would be perfect for showing you a little bit of workflow within Dehancer. I shot all this footage on the, as you can see up here, the Pocket 6K. Just shot it on ProRes 422. The other thing I had just realized was that this wasn't shot in peak summer, like I had mentioned. So now that I look at it, using the stock Kodak Gold 200, which I know has more of a warm, kind of summery look to it, perfect for footage that was shot at the beach in the summer and you kind of want a nostalgic, warm feeling to your footage. I don't want that. So it ended up looking great, but it doesn't fit the scene as much. A lot of this footage, again, was shot in a cooler atmosphere. So with that being said, I'm going to go back and change the Gold 200 to something where it's pretty warm, as the sun was out all day, but slightly warm, not total warm. After doing some research and kind of playing around with the different stocks, there's a ton of different film stocks in here. When I first started, I would just go through all these and kind of look at how they all impacted my footage. And also did some research online and found that Vision 3 250D would have more of a slighter warm look to it, but not overly warm. Here it looks a little cool. My white balance might have been a little off for this clip specifically. I love this clip, by the way. The water reflecting the mirror right here, at this time I had saw, and I was like, I gotta shoot that because it looks so cool. And is a great intro to us plunging. Like I said, I had Kodak Gold 200 on here and had it graded pretty nicely, but wanted to change it and see what else I could work with. So if I start from scratch, choose camera, Blackmagic Design, Cinema Camera 6K, Film Gen 5, Color Science. The overall exposure I wanted to be pretty low on here just because, as you can see, I'm shooting through a windshield. And when you look through a windshield, it's still pretty tinted. And I wanted to dig into that, kind of that realistic look, like you're actually looking kind of through a windshield. So I wanted to drop my exposure a little more, even than kind of what you would, just to kind of give off that we're looking through a windshield of a car. So if I kind of mess around with this and go to where I like it, So if we keep it like right in there, just bringing it somewhere where I like. It also is still a little too cool. So I am going to work with my temperature a little bit here and bring back that warmth a little bit. Maybe that's, again, this is just a trial and error thing for me. I kind of just play with the dials like crazy. Yeah, I'm going to do this kind of pretty quickly. Again, just keeping it somewhere where I'm kind of satisfied with it. I'm going to bring in some magenta, I don't want it to be too green. Again, there's so much stuff on this software that you can get into, that I will get into. I don't really take advantage of it all, mostly because I don't know what everything does, and I'm not going to act like I know what everything does. I know what a lot of this stuff does, but really, if I don't know what something is, I'll play with the dial, and if it kind of makes it pop a little more or whatnot, I'll continue on that path. But I don't really work with push or pull more. I know it's a big thing. It's something I need to learn more of. I know it has something to do with wanting to create more contrast or more of a softer look, whether you're in a brighter or a darker area outside, or whether your scene is a brighter or darker area. So I'm going to reset that and just keep it as it is. Going down to contrast boost, I don't, sometimes I'll work with it and just kind of bring in some more contrast. I like to work with the expand more when it comes to contrast, just because when I work with the white point, that's targeting more of your highlights, and your black point is more of your shadows. So I usually start there. I'm going to bring this up a little bit because I don't want to crush those blacks and shadows. Like right in there. That's good for me. Working with the black point and white point, obviously that's going to create a lot of your contrast. Usually when I'm done with the black point and white point, kind of working with the highlights and shadows where I'm bringing in a lot of the contrast, then I'll go up to the contrast boost and work with that. And if I just need to bring in some more, then I'll do that. If not, I'll leave it. But yeah. Color boost, sometimes I'll work with to bring in just some overall saturation. Okay, so I'm actually going to move on from this scene and do a different clip. This clip was kind of hard to work with just because there's a lot going on. But like where I'm at right now, I like it. Let's go to this clip. I absolutely love this clip. I love kind of the balance and composition in this clip. We're chilling down here. You have a whole big kind of thing of rocks that evens out this side. These people started over here and were kind of walking across throughout the whole frame, and I didn't really realize that as I wasn't looking back. Totally fine. They were enjoying the day as much as we were. Yeah, so I had already went and applied the Vision 3 250D onto this one. You can see the change if I were to go back. And like I said, I did have Kodak Gold on here for a while, and then realized like, oh, this wasn't peak summer, so I switched it, and I really like this look more. I'm gonna bring those blacks up a little bit so the shadows don't get lost. Keeping my highlights somewhere in there. I'm actually okay with some of the blacks getting crushed a little too much down here, just so I can bring in the highlight, or just so I can bring in a little bit more of the information in the highlights. That's fine. Again, this was like a quick shot. This wasn't very controlled. Obviously, I just shot this throughout the day. Color head is really fun to work with. This is where you can really take advantage of playing with colors within your shot to get the specific kind of look you're going for. Going down to halation and bloom, I do use these quite a bit. A lot of times I'll do the custom setting and play around with it. From what I've found, it seems that bloom targets more of the whites, and you can it really comes into play in more of the whites. As you can see, this is a great example on these rocks. You got the sun hitting the rocks at more of a daylight tone, and you can really see it when you enable it. It just gives off this beautiful glow on these rocks, and I love that for this. I think it looks great for this specific scene. Halation, on the other hand, seems to target more of the reds and the oranges. You can't see it as much in here. It brings in some orange and reds and stuff. Like if I toggle it out, like look in here, right in here, see how it kind of brings in more of the reds and oranges and makes them glow. I really like this shot. Another great kind of intro shot to set up me cooking. This was smoke from the fire coming through the woods here. You also have a lot of sunlight coming through here that really makes the smoke kind of pop. Let's go and start with, well, it looks like I've already done some stuff, so we're going to reset that. We're going to go to expand. I don't really work with the film compression as much. It seems like it really targets more of the highlights of your image. Sometimes I'll mess around with it. This video I'm not gonna go to expand, and black point I'm gonna bring up a little bit on this one, because you go too low you start getting so dark in here, and I don't want that to get lost. So I'm gonna bring these the black point up, which is again is targeting more of your shadows. So I'm gonna bring those up. Go up to contrast boost, play around with it, see how it makes it look. Honestly, if I just keep it right at around 0, I think that looks fine. Somewhere right in there, yeah. This clip is a great example to show you where bloom is coming into play. All of these little patches of bright highlights and sky in the background, when you toggle the bloom on and off, and these little sun streaks on these trees, when I toggle this bloom on and off, you can see how this glow kind of comes in, just like right on those little streaks and highlights specifically. So I'm going to keep that on. Again, a lot of these clips that I'm working with here, on this day specifically, the ratio of kind of the highlights to shadows within the same image and that range is very extreme. But using this software has made it really easy to work with. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's kind of my workflow. I love this. Again, still learning how to use Dehancer, and still learning how to kind of mimic what an actual film stock would look like. Right now, I know when I use Dehancer, I love the way the image looks. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely recommend this plugin. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night or morning or whatnot. So.